Welcome to Grand Prairie Update. I'm Don Johnson.
And I'm Terry Briggs. Here's what's happening in your city.
Hello. Hi. How are y'all this morning?
The new year means new security at Grand Prairie schools. Police officers are now walking the halls of elementary schools as part of their patrol duties.
This gave me a little bit more opportunity to go in and actually look at the school and visit with the kids and get to know some of the teachers. Having a good day so far? Yes? Awesome.
Security plans at the 24 grade schools have also been reviewed and revised where necessary. The changes come in the wake of the Connecticut school shootings last month.
As a district, we've done a lot to ensure student safety. We practice our Code B drills every month. Our staff is very aware of all of our evacuation procedures here on campus. As a school district, it's policy for all of our doors to remain locked. We have volunteers who come on campus, but they do go through background checks. So we're doing a lot as a district to ensure student safety, and we'll continue to do that.
Parents seem to like the extra security.
That they're coming around and checking our school and stuff like that. It does. It gives me, it makes me feel a lot better when before we didn't see it, so.
Yeah, as long as they do their job, I feel safer by sending my kids to school.
Well, having an officer at the school, it's not guaranteed the security, but it's the safety that if we did have an emergency or anything, that we'd also have other officers come.
Okay, tell me again, who's almost caught up with their work?
Officials say the new safeguards do not require additional personnel or money, and they will be helpful in other ways.
I think it's good community policing in regards to the patrol officers. I want them to know. I want them to know everything they can about the elementary schools that lie within their beat, and I think it's good for the children to be able to say, hey, that's Officer so-and-so, he's back here at our school today, and I think that'll just be a good thing on both sides.
The city already uses school resource officers at all middle schools and high schools. Now, all 47 campuses in the city will have uniformed officers who are familiar with the buildings, making them better equipped to respond to a potential threat.
Y'all do good today.
The flu epidemic is causing a spike in emergency calls for the Grand Prairie Fire Department. Officials report a significant jump in calls for ambulance service from people who are severely ill with the flu.
Predominantly, most of our calls are on kids or the seniors who just struggle with this illness. It has, stressed would be a good word, our resources. We are able to handle it. Instead of making 20 or 25 medical calls during an afternoon, now we're making 40.
For now, the flu does not appear to be causing any personnel problems for fire, police, or other city departments. But city health officials are urging employees and the public to take extra precautions that include get a flu shot, cover coughs and sneezes, wash your hands with soap and water, and stay home if you're sick. You can get more information about where to get a flu shot by contacting Environmental Services.
Crossing the railroad tracks is about to get complicated in downtown Grand Prairie. The Union Pacific Railroad is upgrading 31 miles of its rail system from Fort Worth through Grand Prairie to Dallas. The existing wood ties and rails will be removed, and then new, longer-lasting concrete ties and rails will be installed. Unfortunately, railroad crossings will be closed during the track overhaul. In Grand Prairie, the closings are set to start on January 22nd at Northwest 23rd Street and Northwest 19th Street. As the work moves eastward, those crossings will open and others will close. Commuters will be routed to detours on State Highway 360, State Highway 161, Carrier Parkway, Beltline Road, and the East Main Street underpass. The detours are not expected to impact the response time of emergency personnel.
We've come up with a plan where our police department, they're using their normal police beat, so they're already out and about. They'll be using our identified detour routes. Our fire department will be the same thing. Basically, because of the detours that they're going to be using, they won't have any prolonged response times.
Railroad officials estimate it will take 6 days to replace the track in Grand Prairie. You can get more information about the railroad crossing closings online at the city's website. Here's some good news to start the new year. crime is down in Grand Prairie, down dramatically. According to a report from the Grand Prairie Police Department, crime decreased by 24% in 2012, the biggest yearly decrease in department history. The total includes a drop of 17% in violent crimes and a reduction of 25% in property crimes. Officials say a number of new community policing programs are helping stop crime.
The way that 24% decrease translates is in 2012 we had 1,807 less crimes than we did in 2011. And that's what is most exciting to me, because that means we had over 1,800 less victims of crime. And what we really tried to focus on in 2012 was increasing our level of community involvement. The way we did that was through several things. We increased our number of citizen police academies per year. We created an enhanced Citizen on Patrol program. We targeted our youth with a lot of community initiatives, our GPTV youth boxing program, our enhanced Teen Academy and Explorer Academy. We adopted the Unidos program, which I founded back in 2002 to use with our Spanish-speaking residents. And then we really increased our use of social media. We created Facebook, Twitter, and Nextdoor.com accounts here at the police department.
You can get more details about the 2012 crime report and community policing programs online at the police website.
The demolition of a house is usually not a welcome sight, especially if you're the homeowner. But in this case, and many others each year in Grand Prairie, it is, because it's the first step in the city's Housing and Neighborhood Services Home Reconstruction Program. It's a federally funded program that allocates money to the Housing Department to use for rehabilitation, or in extreme cases like this, total reconstruction.
If they are 50% or more deteriorated, they can qualify for reconstruction, which is the case with this particular home. This is a house that we were really glad the homeowner was open to reconstruction. She qualified and we were able to do it for her.
Walters says the department has done several reconstructions like this each year since the program began. And while the rewards for recipients are pretty obvious, it's also very beneficial for the community.
You're going to have a house that's built here that's going to be a good house for decades to come. You're going to have a house that's not going to be dilapidated. It's going to be a brand new house. You're going to have a tax-paying citizen in a house that is not a blight or a problem for the particular neighborhood. So it's going to help the neighborhood. It's going to keep values up for the homeowners. And also on the flip side is the homeowner's going to have a brand new house that they can live the rest of their life in worry-free.
For information about any of the city's Housing and Neighborhood Services Department's programs, contact them at 972-237-8040 or log on to gptx.org/housing.
The new turf is starting to take shape at Quick Trip Park in Grand Prairie. Workers are rolling out the synthetic grass that will cover the baseball field. The job is a lot like laying carpet. Strips of turf are cut off rolls, then stretched and pulled into place until they slightly overlap. Finally, the strips are glued together, leaving a seam that is almost invisible.
All our seams are glued together with a moisture cure glue, all warranted, 10-year warranty on it, and it's one of the better glues that I've seen.
Below the turf is a layer of compressed rock and a moisture barrier, a combination designed to make the field drain better, be easier to maintain, and last longer than the old grass and clay surface. All the turf should be in place by early February. That's it for this edition of Grand Prairie Update.
Hope you'll join us again next time.